Yorkshire Cup final between Castleford and Bradford Northern. The two teams out onto the field to be presented. We'll go through the teams. Bradford Northern first. Fullback Keith Mumby, Phil Ford, Steve McGowan, Gary Mercer and Roger Simpson. The halfbacks are Russell Stewart and Paul Harkin, and the pack is David Hobbs, Brian Noble, Brendan Hill, Kelvin Skerrett, Carl Fairbank and Wayne Heron. The two substitutes for Bradford are Neil Roebuck and David Retford. Castleford have David Ruckley at fullback, David Plange, Tony Marchant, Michael Beattie and Gary Hyde, and the two halfbacks for Castleford, Roy Southernwood, Bob Beardmore, and their pack Kevin Ward, Kenny Hill, John Fifita, Martin Kettridge, Keith England and John Joyner, and the two substitutes for Castleford, Giles Boothroyd and Dean Sampson. The referee, of course, is the same referee as the first one, and that's Mr. Kevin Allett from Southport. It's a misty, quiet day here. The field looks in marvellous condition, and I'm quite sure both teams are looking forward to a terrific encounter. The first game at Headingley, 12-12, and both sides looked very, very evenly matched on that particular day. And I suspect today's match will be very much the same. It'll be hard, certainly for the first 20 minutes. I'm sure it'll be tight up front. Unfortunately, Jeff Gratian broke his leg in two places last time, and unfortunately for Jeff, he can't make it today. He's not fully recovered. Doesn't feel happy enough to stand on his leg, so he'll miss it. I'm assured he's at home with his sandwiches and things, and I'm sure he'll be listening on Radio Leeds. Midweek news, of course, is for Bradford that Terry Holmes has retired from the game, unfortunately. His knee's not standing up to the pressures of this game, so I suppose that's a double blow really for Bradford's point of view, missing Holmes and Gratian. It gives a chance, however, for Wayne Heron to come back in the pack, and Wayne's got a superb chance to make the 13 shirt his, and I'm sure he'll have a good game today. Castleford are missing their Australian forward Lindner and Kevin Beardmore, who was injured in that first game. Kenny Hill is the Castleford hooker, so a chance for him to show his skills. Bob Mearbore is back, of course, and Castleford played in a nines competition at Wigan on Wednesday night, so just how much that's taken out of them is anybody's guess, but they certainly reached the final, lost to Wigan, so they played a full session there. Michael Beattie, the centre from St George in Australia, is a very strong, powerful runner, sound tackler, and he'll be against Steve McGowan, so that'll be an interesting duel between the two. Gary Mercer, the New Zealander, full international full-back winger, he's playing in the centre for Bradford, and he'll be looking forward to a good game, and his compatriot Russell Stewart comes in at number 6 for Bradford. Russ had a good game against Hull KR last week, and this is his first big game, and he's quite an accomplished player, so a few changes then as Mr. Allett blows his whistle to bring the two captains forward, Paul Harkin and John Joyner, and they've played against each other numerous times. There's literally no wind at all, so that shouldn't influence the contest. David Hobbs has been playing half games, Gratian and Hobbs. There's a little mascot there throwing the coins away. So it'll be interesting to see whether Brian Noble, with his experience, can put one over on Kenny Hill, his opposite number, in the hooking position. Well, we're all set for a grandstand view. Superb facilities here at Elland Road. And it's Bradford who are going to kick off, defending the post to our left. Keith Mumby back in his full-back position. And perhaps that might be a good thing. Keith very sound at the back. So the whistle goes and we're off. Mumby with the deep kick down to the corner, and that bounced solidly on the ground. Gary Hyde crashed to the floor by Brendan Hill and Brian Noble. Up the short side, and in they go again. And that's Kenny Hill with his first touch. Hyde up the short side again. And again it's Hill and Noble. Kettridge, who had a tremendous first half for Castleford at Headingley, and the downfield kick, and that's charged down. It'll squirt about a bit. Paul Harkin goes down and got caught with a knee as they went over the top. Mr. Allett with the penalty straight away. Harkin catching a knee early on. So the first penalty to Bradford. Mumby doesn't make touch with that one. Taken by Beattie. Beattie tackled by McGowan and Noble. Hill. And the ball spread. Keith England. And he missed the first game tackle there. And Beardmore feeding the ball away. Kettridge again crashed to the floor. The ball picked up short side, and Hill, little chip. Simpson goes back and falls on the ball on his 25. He's tackled by Plange. Plays his ball. Mumby picks up, but Castleford caught offside. It wasn't offside. Plange having a quiet word with the ref, or the referee having a quiet word with Plange there. So Mumby, much shorter kick to touch this time, and knocks that one safely in. Bradford in there inside their own half, and the tap. David Hobbs takes it up. Hobbs driven back there. Harkin spreading the ball to Skerritt. Skerritt brings it forward. Noble to Harkin. Harkin finds Wayne Hearn, but he's tackled by Beattie. Brendan Hill comes with a tremendous charge, slips out of two, makes the halfway line. A strong run. Hobbs tries one downfield, a beautiful kick, but just too long, and that takes play back just inside the Bradford half. Hobbs missing touch by a yard there. Bob Bidmore feeds. First scrum, well tackled by Harkin. Russ Stewart comes in to help out. First scrum to Castleford. Joyner picks up and feeds it out. Kettridge, the number 11, and it's round to Beardmore. Marchant, nowhere to go, and he's tackled solidly on the halfway line. Stewart in there with the tackle. Castleford moving it wide. Joyner again. Fifita, a chance for Fifita as he breaks through here. Goes through to Mumby. And a good run there from Castleford. Little probing run. Fifita comes round, but he's tackled. And the last tackle coming up for Castleford, and that's a penalty. Kevin Ward there and Paul Harkin niggling away at each other. So Martin Kettridge, first chance to put points on the board for Castleford. And a kick of some 30 odd yards, and Kettridge quite capable of landing this. Round the corner kicker, a little shuffle, strikes it but pushes it badly. Mercer takes, and Mercer makes some ground up that far side. Mercer goes well, makes 20 yards. Ooh, and there's an elbow going in there. Keith England crashing in. Brendan Hill comes across field but makes it easy for the tacklers. That drift sideways does make tackling so much easier. Hobbs. And again there's some head tackling going in there. Hobbs drives a high one, but that's right on the line and touched by a Castleford player too. That should be a Bradford ball. Down they go as Castleford hooker on the floor. Hill. Mr. Ella wants him on the 10. Bradford go across. Hobbs can't get in. In they go. And a loose arm again by Hill. So Mumby again with the kick. Bradford not quite settled yet. Noble taps. Wayne Heron, and again just ducking underneath one or two high tackles. Hobbs feeds it wide to Harkin. Carl Fairbanks took his eyes off that one. That'll be another scrum. And that was just a little bit tight. Get some protection from Harkin, won't it?
Run yourself out of position,
Down they go. Beardmore feeds and Marchant picks up from him. Tackle by Stewart. Hill, but the ball goes away. McGowan in with Fairbanks, wrestles his man to the floor. Keith England picked up and driven back. Tremendous tackling there by Fairbanks and Hill. And some more superb tackling. Defeater feeling the efforts there. Hobbs and Noble. Castleford spreading the ball, a chance here. And that's given us a trip. England with a good long kick. Kettridge rather with a good long kick there, taking play into the Bradford half. Here he comes again, met by Hobbs. And the drop inside, and the ball's away again. Beardmore finding a hole to run into, but smothered by the Bradford tacklers. Joyner switching direction, comes across, Noble misses him, and a chance here for Peter. Well tackled by Mumby. Mumby takes his man beautifully there, but Joyner just changing that direction makes a big difference. Ward with a tremendous charge for Castleford. Bradford have to nail these players, and Ward smashes Hark into the floor there, and the penalty goes against him. Oh, Ward being stupid there. And he really should have played his ball there. Castleford in a good attacking position, giving it away. Hobbs comes through, pivots through one tackle, downed on the next one. Oh, the ball goes loose, and it's play on, but it's going to be a scrum. Kelvin Skerritt just taking his eye off the ball again. So a chance now as Beardmore feeds. Stewart and Heron with the tackles. Beardmore plays his ball. Joyner handing on. Ball goes loose on the floor. Phil Fort comes in. Takes Beattie. They run up the short side. And a dive over the top there. That was a nonsense by Beattie. Absolutely disgraceful. Beattie diving over the top to get to Phil Ford. Absolute nonsense. Well, Castleford with the rough stuff right from the start. Penalty to Bradford. I really can't understand why the crowd are booing. Mumby safely in, and a chance for Bradford to get back into a Castleford half here. Put up a little attack. Brendan Hill takes them on. Bumps one out the way, loses the ball. Peter takes it. Dragged down by Noble. And this is really boiling up. Miss Allott could have a little bit of a job on his hands here. Hill feeds it out. The loose ball, picked up by Noble. Noble drops it. It goes to Castleford. It's on the floor. Castleford lose it again. And Ruckley managed to throw it sideways. It must be like a bar of soap down there. One or two slips. David Hobbs, McGowan. The tackles going on the Castleford 25, the short run. Hill looking to get the ball away, can't do so. And that's Kenny Hill, of course. The two Hills on the floor. And a penalty to Castleford for her laying on. And the forwards certainly testing each other out in these early minutes. Kettridge safely in on the halfway line. Hill. England. Keith England plays his ball. Kettridge tackled by Hobbs. The ball goes loose. It's picked up by Skerritt. Skerritt trying to skip his way out of a tackle. And if it's so slippy, we must be trying to play in the Castleford half. Carl Fairbanks. There goes the tackle and a lost ball, but he did well, Dick Carl there. Realised that it had gone forward and killed the ball. But it seems every strong tackle, the ball shooting out of the hands. Scrum goes down just inside the Bradford half. Beardmore to feed. And they've won the ball comfortably. Noble can't get in. Down they go. Beardmore feeds again. And a chance here, turned back inside, Kettridge joined the line. Beardmore has a little probe. Good tackling there. And another lost ball. I think Hill has gone down on that one. Plays his ball. Oh, it's Stewart having a little probe at acting half-back. Carl Fairbanks picks up, has a scoot, but slips on his way in just inside the Castleford half. Brian Noble at acting half-back. The wide ball hits McGowan in space. McGowan's got a chance to go here. McGowan, well tackled, but is still going. Through to the Castleford 25. McGowan plays his ball. It's away to Brian Noble. Brian Noble on the Castleford 25. Harkin had nowhere to go there. Brendan Hill switches it to Harkin. Harkin drives it into touch. Castleford winning the first 4 scrums. On there, pushing Beardmore, shove that in the second row, but that's come away to Ford. Ford gets it to Stewart, the ball goes loose. An offside given, and Castleford get a penalty for that. But that ball really, it must be very, very slippy. An accidental offside. Kettridge safely into touch, and that'll take Bradford back to the halfway line. And it looks like a series of errors. Fifth tackle by Brendan Hill. Kenny Hill away. Kevin Ward trying to get rid of the ball, but David Hobbs comes in and takes him. Beardmore feeds it off to England. England tries to turn. Wayne Heron doing well and getting around the back of him there. Ball played, Beardmore away, and the driven ball downfield. Runs and runs and runs. That's a tremendous kick. Kenny Hill drives Bradford back to 10 yards from their own line. A marvellous touchline kick. Fafita, the Castleford second row, is injured, so they're backing down without a loose forward at the moment on that far side as Harkin feeds the scrums. Harkin picks up, takes the first scrum for Bradford, but Bradford in a dangerous position the way this ball is. Stewart makes 5 yards, gives Bradford a little bit more relief. Brian Noble, Skerritt. And it looks as though Fifita's coming off as Bradford try and break through, try and get out of the 25. Brendan Hill bringing the ball forward. David Hobbs drives the kick downfield. This time it's safe and secure. It's picked up by Ruckley. Ruckley comes forward, but Ford does enough to stop him. McGowan completes the tackle. Hyde up the short side. Takes play just into the Bradford half, and the substitution made for Castleford. And Kettridge dragged down, or trying to be made. Beardmore spreading the ball. Ward straightens up. Loose ball. Picked up by Fairbanks. Inside to Mumbai. Mumbai still going. Mumbai making yards. And the linesman's on for an incident on the far side there. And the number 15 comes on for Castleford. That's Sampson. Dean Sampson comes on for Fifita. Beardmore is going to be spoken to. And I suspect that was for a challenge on Harkin after the ball had gone. And that should have been another 10 yards. Beardmore speaking then.
By the 10 yards.
Mumby, much better kick this time. Takes Bradford into the Castleford 25. Noble to Hill. Hill with a strong run. Bump. Ball shot out of his hand, but it came back to him. Hobbs. Inside. And it's away to Hill again. Hill's going for the line. Oh, couldn't get it up. Noble to Hobbs. Hobbs going to have a plunge. Hobbs looking for a plunge in here. Throws his ball on the floor, but Harkin can't take it, and it's gone to Castleford. And a little fumble there, and that's a scrum. Kenny Hill not quite getting the ball. And a chance for Bradford now. 10 yards out from the Castleford line, and they're put in. Packs go down. Harkin, offside. And there must have been offside there. Joyner was well round there before Harkin had picked the ball up. And that's ridiculous. Marchant niggling away there at Harkin. Stewart. Ooh. 5 yards short. Little cross move on coming up now. Harkin. Wayne Heron held up. And another move. There's Hobbs there. Drives it in, but can't get out of the tackle.
Still on the birthday.
Harkin, the wide ball to Mumby. Mumby hands on. Ooh, Mercer into the half gap. McGowan feeds it to Ford. Ford tries the little chip through, but it's not charged down with the feet, and Hill did well, picks that one up. Sampson slips his ball away. A chance here for Castleford on the far side. They've got a man spare. Marchant switches Plange inside. Plange brushes one man off, but he is well tackled. Carl Fairbanks in there. Noble penalised and giving a good position away there. Kettridge, the long kick, finds touch on the halfway line. Kenny Hill. Sampson with the charge. Sampson almost through. Sampson did well and played the ball quickly. That's good football. And it's away to Kettridge. Kettridge runs into Wayne Heron. Beardmore moving the ball. It's switched back inside. England going across field, loses the ball. And so Bradford will get the put in.
It's going
to be a series of accidents to win this. They've got to play in their hands. The ball being so greasy, we're going to see a lot of mistakes, I think. And it's going to be a territorial game. The people who can get in the right half. The ball, Stewart. Mumby ducks through one, almost pulls through two, still takes some pulling down as Keith Mumby. Up the short side, Wayne Heron. Heron halfway through the gap, held by 1 foot. And Bradford on the attack again. The long ball, David Hobbs. Hobbs can't get the ball away. Good tackling from Castleford. Sampson doing well to wrap his man up. Stewart to Harkin. Harkin drives one for the corner. A beautiful kick, but just too long. Castleford have the tap then on the 25. Kevin Ward driving forward, but well tackled by Noble. Short side ball. Kettridge wrapped up by Stewart. And Castleford spreading the ball. Sampson dragged down, but he got his ball away. Noble pulls down Ruckley. Bradford a little bit short this side. Joyner looks to get his ball away, does so. Hyde brings it back in, slips the ball away to Beattie. Beattie inside, but that's a loose ball. Bradford are down on it. Phil Ford trying to make ground, and David Hobbs is down on the ground injured. And Brendan Hill at Hackney half back, away to Harkin. Harkin to Fairbanks. Fairbanks.
Come on.
Harkin to Wayne Heron. Mercer. Well tackled. Mercer trying to get up. Harkin drives one into touch. Hobbs back on his feet, being seen to.
They're after that. Every time they pitch that.
And Hobbs arrives at the scrimmage. Should be on the 10. Castleford are coming. Down they go. Bademore feeds, the scrum collapses, but Bradford win that one. Simpson. Harkin to Stewart, to Mumby. Mumby did well to take that one. Knocks one man away, gets his ball away. Wayne Heron drives through. Mumby looking the dangerous player at the moment. Mercer. Skerrett. Did well to take that. Mercer's going to have a go himself. 10 yards out. Bradford will be looking to drive to the post. Brendan Hill stole it through. Hill's there. And Hill goes in for the first try. Knocking men aside. And that's the position Bradford need to be in the Castleford 25 as much as possible. So difficult for people to tackle in this sort of slippy weather, and the ball can go anywhere. At least you've a chance of recovering if he's yards behind you. David Hobbs. Chance to add the goal points on. Come on, David. Oh, and he's missed it. Oh! Well, that's a bad miss. 4-0. So we can expect a surge from Castleford now. And Bradford need to contain the Castleford attack. Put some more points on the board if they can later on. Ruckley drives one downfield. Squirts through. A little of indecision there, but Wayne Heron takes the ball. Comes towards the 25 line. Noble to Skerrett. Skerrett will have to take them on. Looking for yards. Scott gets up, plays his ball. Carl Fairbanks. Fairbanks, Noble. The wide one to McGowan. McGowan half skips out of the tackle. Beattie not too convincing with that one. Hobbs feeds it to Mumby. Mumby still going. Hoists it downfield. Good pivoting, and that runs away from Hyde, and that's good. And Bradford come up. There's a big hole in the middle, but Hyde tackled first time by Stewart. And the white line comes across the field. Beardmore feeding it away. Ruckley trying to find a hole. Tackled by Noble. Beardmore, and that's a good kick. Takes Mumby back into his 25, but it stops quickly, and Mumby picks up, and Mumby tries to run it out. Mumby plays his ball. Rich Simpson trying to make some yards. Harkin, the wide ball to Stewart, but he's well spotted and tackled by Joyner. McGowan picks up Nazago. 5 or 6 yards from McGowan there. Harkin, the wide ball to Ford. Ford with a chance to run. Hoisted across the top. Hills following up and crashes into Ruckley. Super tackle. Ruckley took it well though. Kettridge. Tackled by Hill, and Hobbs knocked down again. Beardmore looking for a man, but he'd run past, and Ward dragged down. Beardmore switches it at the play of the ball. Bradford spotted that one. Samson picks up Nazarun. Harkin comes again, but Samson doing well. An obstruction and a chance here. Beattie kicks for the line, but Mumby's there, and it'll go into touch short. A good attack then. Beattie kicking a little bit early, might have taken Mumby on. But Mumby showing pace and pick up as he turned. Covered the ball all the way. Harking has to feed. And a penalty to Bradford for loose arming. Hill trying too hard. Mumby safely in on the 25. Noble, Hobbs tackled. Brendan Hill comes straight, trunches through two. Certainly makes yards as Brendan when he's going. Noble did well to pick that one up. Noble making 10 yards. Carl Fairbanks off, makes the halfway line. And a kick by David Hobbs that's superb, just a yard long again as it carried in the air. It looked good all the way. So back we go. The scrimmage just 5 yards inside the Bradford half. And this time it'll be Castleford's put in. And that's the Castleford ball, and it slipped to Joyner, and Joyner did well. The little slip pass there, dangerous at the scrum. And a short side ball, but England has nowhere to go, and he's easily tackled. And Beardmore, the run Ryan ball, handed on. Kettridge tackled. Ward coming with a charge, slips the ball away, but it goes down on the floor and it's handed on. Marchant, McGowan gets his hand in there and it's back to 1. Sampson, wrong foot's 1. Get brought down by Wayne Hearn. This Sampson looks a dangerous forward, always capable of getting the ball away. Ward put down. And Fairbanks gives a penalty away right in front of the post, trying to pinch the ball. That was silly. So Kettridge gets a chance to put 2 points on the board for Castleford, and really a little bit silly there from Carl. Could have done without that.
This is needless, isn't it?
Kettridge round the corner. That looks good. It's there, 2 points. So Bradford 4, Castleford 2. And Sampson looking a good forward. Seems to be bursting through and making the ball available. And I think perhaps has strengthened the Castleford side. He looks better than for 50 to me. Keith Mumby with the restart. Screws that one off his toe down to Ruckley under the post, plays it with his feet, feeds it away. Ward, and the ball away. Marchant. Carl Fairbanks did well there, got back. Castleford still attacking. Beardmore coming across field, and Kettridge has to hang on to that one. It's suitably buried. Hill, little short run, 5 yards, plays his ball. Joyner comes in, spreads the wide ball, and a chance. Marchant to Beardmore. Beardmore, the little chip through, it goes loose. Skerritt down on it quickly. Noble's going to make yards if he can, and goes forward 5. Plays his ball. Hill, straight, but he's well tackled. Stewart. Carl Fairbanks throws it away. Hill away to Harkin. Harkin probing and looking. Couldn't quite slip through the hole. Fairbanks to Hobbs. Hobbs, well wrapped up. Ball Harkin drives it away. Marchant did well, turned his back, hit his legs, and it dropped right for him. And there's nobody wanting the ball. Mercer with a good tackle there. And Sampson, well tackled by Stewart. Kettridge, no way through. Good tackling from Noble again. Beatty feeds the ball out. Beardmore on a little run round. Ruckley, well spotted. Beardmore. Kevin Ward. Mercer injured there, and that's off Harkin's heel, but picked up by Simpson. Simpson to halfway, tackled by England. Noble to Hobbs. Hobbs feeds his ball away. Kelvin Skerritt. Skerritt away to McGowan. McGowan going, but that's a forward pass. At least that's what Mr. Allott says. A hard look, Kelvin there.
What do you think? I've seen a lot worse that go. Let's put it that way.
So that'll be a Castleford ball, and that's away. Oh, and that's a knock on. A little bit of anxiety showing both sides. Down we go, and Harkin feeds, and that's a Bradford ball, and it's away. Mumby picks up, Mumby pivots through one. Harkin feeds Heron, Wayne Heron. As the hooter goes for half time, there's a little fracas going now. Wayne Heron and Keith Joyner, there's a pile in there. There's all the players going. That's a disgrace. With the hooter having gone and there's people thrashing away, Harkin there and Plange having a go, and that's absolutely dreadful. Absolute nonsense. The referee will have an inquest in this, I'm quite sure. And the players are wandering slowly towards the touchline. The referee's signalling them off, so that's half-time at 4-2 with a very controversial ending to the half. And it's still going on down below. Flare up just at the break there. Both teams have a chance to settle down. It'll be interesting to see what happens. There's the referee's calling both captains over to have a word with them. Joyner and Harkin, and I'm sure we'll see anybody who is indiscreet enough to throw a punch or anything will certainly get penalised and maybe get 10 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if Mr. Allott keeps the teams well apart at the play of the balls. Well, Mr. Allott has just given 10 minutes to Carl Fairbanks and I think it's John Joyner. So 10 minutes each and they're both off. So without the second half starting, Mr. Allott has stamped his authority on this game. So the whistle goes and we're away. Deep kick, squirts. Kelvin Skerritt with the first charge in. There go the elbows. And Skerritt got smashed there in the face with an forearm smash. David Hobbs drives it forward. And Skerritt, injured in that first one, is gone down now. Wayne Heron skips through the first tackle. And there'll need to be brave men out there. Mercer's going to have a go. Mercer down the middle. Hobbs going to kick, drives it downfield. That's a good kick, and it scoots into touch. Beautiful kick by David Hobbs. That takes them down into the Castleford 25. Skerritt still down on the floor, being seen to by Ronnie Barrett, and that was a disgrace. The linesman did nothing about that, and he was obviously hit with two forearms. Down they go, Beardmore feeds, but that scrum's not right, not straight. Beardmore feeds, they've let that go, and Beardmore goes into space. And Castleford with a chance, but Ruckley dragged down by Brendan Hill. Tremendous cover from Brendan, but it's back up the middle. And England wrapped up by Heron. Castleford, Beardmore feeding it wide. Kettridge brought down. And the ball away, Beardmore feeding on 50. Not really running there. And the last one for Castleford. And we're going to see the kick downfield, and it's bombed and it squirts away, and there's a race for that, and it's chipped away. Ford takes. Ford's on his way. Ford comes round Marchant. Ford brings the ball forward and is clobbered first time, and this is a disgrace from the Castleford players. England deliberately injuring Ford. Mumbai into touch. Skerritt's back on his feet and looks all right. Noble to Hill. Hill strides through. Hill plays his ball to Noble. Noble going. Noble to the 25. Bradford piling on the pressure. Hobbs to Harkin. The wide ball. Mercer. Mercer tackled and held. Driven back, the ball goes loose, and a knock-on given. The scrum just outside the Castleford 25 with Harkin to feed. Mr. Allett wanting the scrum square. In it goes, picked up. Mumbai on the far side. Mumbai has a go. David Hobbs looking inside, but nobody coming inside for Hobbs. Ball away, Harkin with the dummy. Mercer well wrapped up, tackled by Beardmore. Brendan Hill picks up. Brendan Hill pushing one off, charges in. Hill plays his ball. Noble to Hobbs. The Hobbs, the wide one. Mercer half tackled. Nice ball from David Hobbs, and Bradford right on the Castleford line, and it's away. Skerritt pivoting, Skerritt driving for the line, and he's held, and that'll be a turnover. England, and the ball stolen by Wayne Heron. Heron steals the ball, and Bradford pressing now. Hobbs waving them wide. Hobbs, Ford, dodging and weaving. Ford close, a yard off the line. Noble to Hobbs. Hobbs to Harkin, but he loses it. It squirts about. The dive, it's still going. And it must be a knock-on. And the Castleford put in. A tremendous, exciting buzz round the ground. Beardmore feeds, and it's a Castleford ball. Beardmore's taking them on, but Mumbai's in there with the tackle. And Bradford caught now, a little bit short. The ball moved. Ruckley can't get his pass in as Mercer comes in with the tackle on him. And here come Castleford. Hill gets his ball away. Beattie, but Beattie tackled by Noble. Sampson into Harkin. No, Stewart it is. Stewart tackles him well, and Sampson's hurt himself in that little exchange. Ball being handed on. Ward looking to get his ball away. They go up the short side. It's on the floor. It's well picked up, and a chance for Castleford here. Marchant into space. Marchant switches it inside, and England drops the ball. And it's tremendously hard tackling game. People going down all over the place. Sampson being given treatment on the far side, and the scrum 10 yards inside the Bradford half. And Castleford shoving in the scrum, and that's a Bradford ball. Mumby takes. Mumby goes through one. Brian Noble. Mercer. Ooh, hit with a crunching tackle there. And a headbutt. Fififta with the head. Dived in and nutted Mercer. Penalty to Bradford. Castleford really giving this game away. And Miss Hallett's going to have to send somebody off to get something back. That's 2 or 3 tackles there that really should have been penalised, and they haven't been. Brendan Hill running wide but making it easy. And there's the third man in again. Number 11, Kettridge, messing about, and that should have been a penalty. Wayne Heron. And this is a real battle. Harkin, the wide ball. Hobbs to Mercer. Quick hands there from David Hobbs, did well. Stewart trying to wriggle his way through. Makes a yard off the Castleford 25. Brian Noble to Brendan Hill. Hill crashes in. David Hobbs perhaps looking for the drop goal here. Hobbs with a drop goal. It's there. Five, 2. Well, that's interesting, and away we go. The kick, rifled downfield. Simpson using his feet, did well. Played well, Roger. Comes across field, runs into one and knocks them away, makes the 25. Simpson plays his ball. Noble to Stewart, Stewart to Mumby. Mumby still going. And a good run from Mumby. Plays his ball. Wayne Heron into the space. Heron halfway through the gap. Heron up to the halfway line. Good run from Wayne Heron there. Bradford showing composure now. The ball is played. Harkin, Stewart. Stewart slips through one. Can't make the second one. Harkin. Mercer. And both the 2 men, Joyner and Carl Fairbank, back on the field now. Hobbs drives one downfield. Plange takes it. Hook take by Plange. Dangerous man when he's running. Plange straightens up. But Stuart and McGowan do the job. And the ball's played. Short side run. Good run by Ruckley. Contested by Brian Noble there. Another short side turn back in. Castleford, nice little move around the acting half-back. Castleford coming now. A chance here. Beattie, well met. Mercer did well there. Spotted that they had an overlap. Beattie plays it to himself. Comes across field. But he's well tackled by Brendan Hill. Marchant. Beardmore with the bomb. Mumby's under it. Mumby takes and sets off. Mumby round 1. And pushes Joyner away. Mumby's still going. Oh, wonderful run from Keith Mumby. Kelvin Skerrett. Tackled by Fififta. Noble. Brendan Hill again. Hill. The knees going in. Noble to Harkin, to Stewart rather. Carl Fairbanks down the middle. Fairbanks tackle on the halfway line. Plays his ball. Harkin. Harkin's away. Harkin on the break. He's inside to Hobbs. It's away to Simpson. Simpson. Oh, taken into touch by Joyner. Harkin might have been better on the inside to Hobbs, but good break there from Harkin. Almost brought Bradford a try. Beardmore feeds, comes the short side, plunge. And the ball away, and it's fearsome game is this one. England trying to make some ground. Hobbs down on the floor, I think it is. But Castleford making the break. Couldn't quite get the ball away. And away it goes again. Kettridge tackled. Forward pass. Fififta. Chance to go. But well dragged down by Wayne Heron. Last tackle. And the driven ball. Simpson can't quite get to it. Bradford put in. Bradford a yard outside their own 25. Down they go. And it's off the foot. The pack goes down again. There's legs everywhere. Harkin penalised for feeding. And Bradford are going to have to resist this challenge from Castleford now. They'll certainly come with a surge. England going to take the first charge in. Slips his ball away. And that's a good ball to Sansom. Sansom has to come for it. Sansom. Hell, 5 yards short. Bradford on the collar here. Plays his ball, Hill away to Beardmore. Beardmore turns it back. Joyner comes the short side for 50, tackled by Noble. 10 yards out. Castleford not organised. Beardmore having a little scoot, but he's wrapped up. Driving back. Castleford again. Ward having a go. Slips his ball away. Ruckley gets his ball to Sansom. Sansom dragged down 5 yards short. Ball played. Hill, but he runs into the tacklers, and it's the last tackle for Castleford. Are they going to bomb? Here we go. Beardmore the wide ball to Joyner. Joyner comes back inside. Marchant chips one over the top. It's a good ball, but Simpson does well. Gets up basketball style and knocks the ball out of play. And a sensible thing to do there. And this cauldron here at Elland Road is really frothing about. 5 points to 2 to Bradford, and they have to drop out. Mumbai drives it downfield. Taken by England. England sets off for the 25. England breaks the first tackle, and Mercer tackle slides back. Hill trying to break his way through. Plange feeds it wide. Beattie pulled down on his back. Beattie to himself, chips forward, picked up by Harkin. Harkin sets off. Harkin still going. Harkin on the run. Harkin away. Phil Ford away to McGowan. McGowan sets off. McGowan's going. And a good run from McGowan relieves the pressure on Bradford. Ford dodging and weaving, but he's tackled. And a penalty given to Bradford, and that looks like mouth it is. Castleford been speaking out of turn there. So Bradford weathered that little storm. Mumbai safely in on the halfway line. 6 tackles for Bradford. Noble taps the ball. David Hobbs takes the ball in. Brendan Hill loses it, but makes the tackle. But that's bad, and it's Castleford again. The run from Sansom. swinging him round, they can't get him down, and he's fell this time. Beardmore feeds it wide, but there's nowhere for Beattie to go. Beattie trying to get the ball away to Marchant, but he's well smothered by Mercer. And the ball being moved. Ketteridge this time. Ketteridge tackled. And the driven ball for the touchline relieves the pressure for Castleford there. And let's hope the fisticuffs have settled down and the players get on playing football. And there's collapsed scrum. Down they go. Simpson picks up. Simpson, half a gap. Fairbanks runs into 50, tries to shoulder him out of the way, but could have stepped inside him there. Mercer picks up and has a go, but he's smothered. Brendan Hill. Sampson smuggles the ball out there and he's dragged down by Skerritt. And Castleford again. And that's silly. And Kelvin Skerritt gets 10 minutes. And the last thing Bradford needed was a man off. So Bradford have to weather the storm again, and they're a man short this time. England with the charge in. Bradford have got the ball. England lost it on the first play of the ball. Paul Harkin plays his ball. David Hobbs just makes his yards. To Noble. Noble makes the 25. The wide ball to Mercer, but he's come back into it. Noble feeds Hobbs. Hobbs downfield, long kick, but Ruckley will take that comfortably. Ruckley loses the ball. Hill's away. Hill's on the run. Hill's going. Go on, Brendan. Go on, my boy. Ah, that's a good run. It takes play to 10 yards from the Castleford line, and Bradford need it out quickly and wide. Get up and play your ball, Brendan. Move the ball. Get that ball out. Fairbanks. And it really needed moving instead of sticking there. Mercer to 10 yards, loses the ball. And that's a knock-on, the knock-on given. Penalty to Castleford for speaking. Well, it's all happening. Hill makes a tremendous run there, and Bradford could have just done with standing much deeper and moving the ball wide. However, play goes on as they lost it, and Castleford in the 25. Fififta with a chance. Stewart comes in. Brendan Hill there had a tremendous tackling game, Brendan, and Brian Noble. The ball wide, England, and he's dragged down by Wayne Heron. No, it isn't, it's Mercer. And it's back inside. Castleford moving the ball well. A chance here, and it's handed on. Mumby comes and chops Beattie in half with a tremendous tackle. Marchant gets the ball to Joyner. Joyner turns it back inside to Marchant. Marchant in with a chance. Marchant still going. Comes back. But the Bradford defence settling. And the last tackle, Joyner gets it away. The ball driven deep. Simpson picks up. Simpson going wide. Rounds Joyner, but he's still going. And a good run from Simpson. Plays his ball. Noble picks up and has a go. Noble, another 10 yards. Phil Ford's come in. Ford's going to have a go. Ford, dodging and weaving. Gets his ball to Mercer. Mercer going round the outside. But he's tackled short. 3 men. 2 men came over the top there on Mercer. Harkin. Heron. Fairbank. And a good pass there. Slipped away to Harkin. Harkin again. Drives it towards the touchline side. That's a good kick. But it won't turn. It's going to go dead. He's going to have to play it. But the ball must have touched the line. And that'll be a tap to Castleford. Castleford with the tap. Kettridge trying to run it out. Tackled by Heron. Beardmore sends it off on the far side. Sampson trying to stride out of a tackle.
Keep hold of them now. Always keep.
McGowan doing well. Hill almost through. Brings the ball up towards the halfway line. Hill plays his ball. Beardmore feeding it wide. Joyner goes back inside. Finds a hole. And it's handed on. But Ruckley's well tackled. But that was a nice move from Joyner. Joyner again taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Tries to get his ball away. Does so inside. Ruckley hands on. There's a chance here. Marchant's going for the corner. Marchant. His tackle. David Hobbs did well to get to him. The last tackle for Castleford. And the and it's a handover. And Bradford breathing again. Phil Ford dodging and weaving, makes some ground. Bradford recovering. And the ball played. Keith Mumby. Fairbanks comes across field trying to hand people off, but he's dragged down. Noble. Brendan Hill brings it over the 25. And the ball is played and Hobbs finds Ford. Ford skips inside. Ford still going. Round the outside. Ford's away. Can they get there? Ford kicks, but it's too far. And he must have been in touch. The linesman's flag goes up on the far side. Phil Ford. At Bradford exciting on the far side. Castleford wanting to make a substitution. And England's coming off. Charles Boothroyd goes on and a chance here. Castleford. And the ball goes loose. Mumby tries to get there, but it's a knock-on. And both sides must be feeling the pace. Been tremendously hard game. Bradford ball. Harkin to Mumby. Mumby takes it in. Carl Fairbanks coming across field, struggles out of one. Stewart in there acting half-back's going to have a go himself. Joyner takes him out. Brendan Hill takes it through, going for 10 yards. Ooh. Harkin almost scampering through the hole there.
Offside, offside.
And the ball to Mumby. Mumby tries the drop goal. He's missed. So the tap goes to Castleford. And here we go again. Sampson into 1, into 2. Strong lad. Looks good. Little bit of a nudge there by Hill, but he's tackled by Hobbs. Fififta comes. Good run. Gets his ball away. Quick hands. Beatty gets his ball away, but and the ball goes loose and Simpson's down on it and the knock-on's being given.
His rack's gone with that number 3. It's been gone a while, hasn't it? His rack's gone. They were very clever there, weren't they? They're ribbing him a bit, but...
Down they go. Harkin.
2 legs up.
Penalised for feeding. Kettridge to kick to touch.
Come on.
And Bradford back in the 25. Kettridge again. Kettridge takes the first one in. Sansom, and he's dragging people forward and making a tremendous run. Good run from Sampson there. Ward goes on the dummy run and a chance here, but it goes loose and Mercer picks up. Stewart takes it forward. Fairbanks driving and trying to get his ball away, but McGowan couldn't get into an offside, surely. Fairbanks playing the ball to himself. Noble to Brendan Hill. Brendan Hill takes the ball towards the halfway line. And the last one for Bradford. Hobbs drives it across field this time, and that seems a strange kick. Plange with his feet. Picks up, but Mercer does the necessary. Good tackle from Mercer. Marchant feeds the ball wide to and Beardmore spreading it wide, and there's the kick. McGowan misses it. It goes to Mumby. Mumby picks up, makes it safe. Mumby to McGowan setting off on a run. McGowan towing 10 yards. Good run from McGowan. Noble to Hobbs. Harkin slips one into Stewart.
Oh no, he wasn't. They're on this side of the man.
And holding the man back there, Mercer. And it was unnecessary because Stewart had gone through the gap. Certainly on their line. So here we go again. Sansom with the run. Noble making sure of his legs this time. He's not going past Noble. Beardmore feeding it to Kettridge, but Kettridge well hit. Mercer gets his ball away to Stewart. Mumby to Hobbs. Hobbs making 10 yards. And Hill, Brendan Hill, taking him on. Goes to the halfway line. Wayne Heron. Oh, and hey, Wayne Heron went through. McGowan went with him, but he got the wrong side. He looked the wrong way. Noble feeds it to Harkin. Harkin drives it deep and finds touch 10 yards from the Castleford line. Oh, I think there's about 7 minutes to go. 5-2 the score to Bradford. And it's a Bradford ball, and Ford loses it. So Castleford with the ball, spread it wide. Fifth-ifter, tackled by Stewart. He's had a great tackling game of Stewart. Marchant, met by Mercer. And the penalty goes against Bradford. So Castleford bring the ball back towards the halfway line, and Bradford can't stay camped down there for any length of time. Kettridge, well tackled. Brendan Hill in there with the thick of it. Sansom drags out a one, but Wayne Heron wraps him up.
One of the match winner for me.
And the ball's played by Hill and away from Joyner. Joyner finds Ward. Ward loses the ball and Bradford come away with it. Brendan Hill takes the short way, gives herself some space. McGowan breaks. McGowan, a good run from Steve McGowan. Tremendous stuff. Noble to Harkin. Fairbanks goes through, but the ball goes loose and Ruckley's down on it. Ball played. Gary High comes in from the far wing, makes a few yards. Marchant, Kettridge, he's lost his power. Down he goes, tackled by Noble. The ball to Beardmore, and Beardmore trying to spread it wide. Boothroyd, and he's well tackled. Beardmore feeds it off. Joyner can't let him run. It goes inside, but it's picked up by Harkin. Harkin's on his way. Harkin's going. Can he get there? Harkin. Oh! And Harkin must be a foot from the line. He plays it to himself. Stewart. The ball goes wide to Ford. Ford's taking them on. It goes over the top. Ford picks up again. Ford's going for the corner. Ford tackle, but he's back on his feet. Ford coming across field. Feeds it in. Yes! Bradford going for the try. And Ford has done it again.
Hillen get the try.
Well, I couldn't see who scored the try.
Hillen got the try. Ford got it up, played it.
Ford puts it in. We think it's Wayne Heron who scored. Yes, Wayne Heron with the score, but Ford taking that ball. It went over the top. Somebody touched it. It went to him. Went for the far corner. He got up. And he found Wayne Heron steaming in. 9 points to 2, and David Hobbs with the kick. And there must be 3 or 4 minutes at the most. So David Hobbs settles himself. Knock it over, David. It's there! 11 points to 2, and surely that should be enough to give Bradford the Yorkshire Cup.
Stick about now, Castleford.
A short ball. Brendan Hill is named man of the match. And a tremendous game he's had in both attack and defence. That'll be a scrum as McGowan knocks on from the short kick.
2 minutes, I reckon.
Let's get back the positions on the
That's a Castleford ball. Boothroyd trying to get through.
We haven't took the dummies.
And Castleford trying to the end, Marchant, but what a tremendous tackle from Mercer. He plays it to himself, and that's a knock-on.
Nearly gone at that number 3.
He's lost his right.
Half an hour ago.
So that'll be a Bradford put-in. And should Bradford get this ball, then all they have to do is to play out the 6 tackles. The ball goes in and away to Stewart. Noble feeds David Hobbs. Fairbanks inside.
He's had a quiet game by his standards.
Well, Hobbs coming inside, gets Defeater, and off he goes.
Kick the goal. Yeah, to replace that.
Mumbai safely in. The crowd urging Northern on for another try. Brendan Hill, man of the match, piles in. Harkin. And Fairbanks takes the drive, and the next one is Harkin. The inside ball to McGowan. McGowan gets it away. Noble, but that's a forward pass. And McGowan showing great sense there and backing up on the inside. Scrum on the Castleford 25. Beardmore to feet for Castleford. And again, and it goes. This time it's away. Ruckley, but Mumby's in. And there goes the hooter, and Bradford Northern have won the 1987 John Smith Yorkshire Cup. A tremendous performance from the lads, absolutely superb. And Castleford have lost this game really with their losing ball in important positions, and they come off really dejected. They put everything into it, but a jubilant Bradford Northern, thoroughly deserving that win by 11 points to 2. And Brendan Hill had a tremendous game. Well, what can one say? Bradford have taken everything that Castleford had literally thrown at them. They've tackled and tackled, and they've produced the rugby. So Paul Harkin collects the cup for the Bradford team, and up they go. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see the presentation for here. And let's hope that's the first of many. Castleford going up for their medals. the holders of the Yorkshire Cup last year. Disappointing for them, no doubt, but they've certainly been here a time or two in the past 10 years. And there'll be no holding the Bradford boys tonight, I'm quite sure. Well, there's a lot of hard work gone into it, and I know how they feel. A tremendous feeling to be in a final and to win it is something special. A lot of these young lads haven't played in a big cup tie before. Steve McGowan and Roger Simpson, Calvin Skerrett, Brendan Hill and Wayne Heron too. Mumby and Harkin have been there before. Brian Noble's been there before. Carl Fairbanks, he's not been in the big time before, but I'm sure he'll have enjoyed all this. Wayne Heron doing a little dance there. So there we are, the final score of this Yorkshire Cup tie as Brian Noble and Brendan Hill bring the cup back. 11 points to 2 to Bradford against Castleford. Yorkshire Cup final.